You know, for the longest time, real estate has had that famous mantra: location, location, location. But what if the game is changing? What if the new frontier is all about data? Data, data. Today, we're going to dive into GlowSpaces, a company that's using AI to bring a serious dose of certainty to the world of property investing. Let's see how they're pulling it off. And really, this is the question that's at the heart of everything we're talking about. If you've ever been near a real estate deal, you know it's just this world of variables, assumptions, and, let's be honest, a whole lot of risk. But what if a platform could come along and just completely change that equation? So to really get where we're going, we've got to take a quick look back at where the industry has been. For generations, analyzing a property investment has felt a lot more like an art than a hard science. I mean, just picture it. Whole teams of analysts absolutely buried in spreadsheets, manually hunting for sales comms, trying to guess at what renovations might cost. It's this incredibly slow, super labor-intensive process that can drag the analysis of a single deal out for weeks, sometimes even months. And all that time, you risk losing out on a great opportunity. And here's the craziest part of the old way. After all that work, after all those spreadsheets, these huge, multi-million-dollar decisions would still, so often, come down to just a gut feeling. Sure, it was an educated guess, but at the end of the day, it was still a guess. But, as you can probably guess, the ground is starting to shift. There's this quiet revolution happening, and it's being driven by some really powerful new forces that are totally reshaping the industry. It's kind of a perfect storm, really. First, you've got this absolute explosion of property data. I mean, everything from satellite images to building permit histories. Second, machine learning has gotten so good it can actually find the important patterns in all that noise. And third, in today's market, being fast isn't just a nice to have, it's a critical advantage. Now, a revolution like this wasn't just born in some sterile lab. It was actually forged from years and years of deep, in-the-trenches industry experience and a super clear vision for a better way. And that vision, well, it starts with the founder. See, this isn't just about writing fancy code. This is about credibility. The whole foundation of GlowSpaces is built on more than 16 years of hands-on expertise in property technology, in 3D digital twins, and in AI-powered real estate intelligence. And all of that experience, it gets distilled right down into the core mission of its founder, Emil Indriskal. It's this one simple but really powerful idea that investing millions of dollars shouldn't be based on intuition. It should be based on certainty. That's the engine behind this whole thing. Okay, so we get the why, that's clear. Now let's get into the fun part, the how. How does GlowSpaces actually take all this raw data and turn it into intelligence that you can actually use? Well, it all comes down to this really structured, methodical process. And listen, this isn't some mysterious black box where data goes in and an answer magically pops out. Nope, it's a transparent, four-stage pipeline that's designed to squeeze out value at every single step. Let's walk through it real quick. First, data ingestion. It pulls in mountains of data from over 40 different sources. Then it hits stage 2, spatial analysis. This is where it uses what are called 3D digital twins. Think of them as super detailed virtual copies of the property to understand the space in ways a human just can't. Stage 3 is predictive modeling, where the AI really goes to work forecasting values and risks. And finally, you get the actionable output, super clear, interactive reports. Now, that output is built on 3 main pillars. The first one is predictive valuation, and this goes way, way beyond just looking at what a similar house sold for last year. The AI models dig into hyper-local market trends and neighborhood growth to project how that asset is going to perform in the future with just incredible accuracy. Next up, Pillar 2, CapEx intelligence. Okay, this tackles one of the biggest headaches for any investor, renovation costs. By checking the plans against real-time local data on contractor rates and material prices, it turns what used to be a huge question mark into a really reliable forecast. And the third pillar, this is where it gets really clever, is spatial ROI. The AI actually analyzes the 2D floor plans and 3D data to find hidden value. It'll suggest high-yield changes, like moving a wall here or reconfiguring a layout there, to completely maximize the property's potential value after you fix it up. So, look, the theory sounds amazing, right? But the billion-dollar question is, does it actually work in the real world? Let's take a look at the numbers. First up, let's talk accuracy. A valuation accuracy of 94.2%.
Now, to put that into perspective, the industry average is somewhere around 73%. That is a massive, game-changing leap forward in precision.
And it's just as good when it comes to predicting those capital expenditures. We're talking 97.1% precision. What that means is your project budgets are totally dialed in, with a tiny margin of error, compared to the huge 15 to 20% swings you see with the old school estimates. And then there's the ultimate competitive edge, speed. Think about it. An analysis that used to take 4 to 6 weeks crushed down to just a matter of hours. That's more than twice as fast, giving you the power to find, analyze, and win the best deals before your competition has even finished booting up their spreadsheets. And these are not just numbers on a slide. Listen to this. This is a direct quote from a managing director at an institutional real estate fund. They said, "GlowSpaces reduced our portfolio analysis time from 6 weeks to 2 days." I mean, that right there, that is the definition of a transformation. So when you put it all together, this isn't just about one company or one cool platform. This is about a deep, fundamental shift in how the entire real estate industry is going to work from now on. And that really brings us to the ultimate vision here, which is all about leveling the playing field. The big idea is to democratize this kind of power, to give every single investor, from the small, emerging managers all the way up to the seasoned operators, access to the kind of intelligence that used to be locked away for only the biggest firms. It's really a move from intuition to intelligence, from making educated guesses to making data-driven, certain decisions. It's a signal of a future where capital gets deployed with real confidence. And that leaves all of us with just one final question to think about. Is your portfolio ready for the future of real estate intelligence?